All right.
Let's get started. What do you want to start with?
Let's see this one. Why is that second finger?
A in the bass. The thumb.
Would you lift there? Or?
Yeah, I would. Just get my metronome. So, what are some ways that you, what are some ways that you practice this piece? First of all, sit up real straight. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed in the videos about your posture, but
Yeah, it's
you
really
have a tendency to slouch a little bit. So, what are some ways that you practice this? Because, did I give this to you before or after the break? Before the break, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's moving a little slower than I anticipated, and I don't know since we don't practice journals anymore. And short of me asking you how long you spent on this over the past week, I think some of the practice strategies need to be kind of tweaked a little bit. I know you're spending like 6 hours a week on this.
Always.
So, what are some ways that you've worked on this piece?
Well, after last week, I really tried to get this section down, and then I was working I mean, I had this down pretty quickly, and then I was basically working on those 4 lines right there.
And what do you find? What is it that you find the most difficult about this piece?
I guess it's just making it flow.
Mm-hmm.
Just continue, like, keep going, I guess. But I mean, that'll come with more practice. So.
Yeah. One thing I think you need to pay a little bit more attention to is rhythms. Because rhythms are it's kind of difficult.
Weird rhythm.
It is weird rhythms, but I think since you're a drummer, I saw that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
That wasn't pointed at you at all. I don't want you to think it was.
No, it's fine. Have fun with the camera. It's fine. Anyway, going back to the rhythm, trying to get the rhythm down is probably the hardest thing. You practice with the measurement?
I try to.
That means
it's not as successful all the time.
Gotcha. All right, that's fine. So let's put a beat down and see how you go. Can you just with the beat that I'm going to give you, I'm going to ask you to clap the rhythm of the right hand of the melody. Okay. Fast. Okay, here we go. Ready? That top line. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, it'd be on the ands, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
3, 4. Do it again. That bar. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Ba, ba, ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it from here, and do this. Da 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 da. Okay, from there. 3, 4. Okay, so that kind of clears up. It seemed like you weren't quite sure when things happen. So just put the right hand with this. 2, 3, 4. It's a D sharp right there. And from here, 1 and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You added a note. 3. Set that bar. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go from da 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 after 4. 3, 4. 4. Here, a little, rushing a little bit. 2, 3, 4. So the way it goes, and right, 3, 4.
Wow,
Try again.
true. What beat is this on?
That's on the end of 3.
End of 3. Okay.
Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. Do this, right? 3, 4. 1 and it's that C. It's that C
Yeah.
sharp that you keep using. Let's see your finger. It's 2 to 5, right? Use third finger on the C sharp because that's a C sharp minor chord. the left hand has a sort of the same rhythm, which is what? So in the beginning. Back in the beginning. No, not quite. That's it. Okay, cool. Both hands. I'm going to turn this on. 2, 3, 4. Wait for that, sucker. 3, 4. Yeah. So let's slow it down so that we can get to your places sooner. Okay, we're gonna slow it way down. Okay, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Alright. Too slow.
It is, but the thing of it is, you kind of need it this way in order to understand where everything lines up. So this week you got to practice with the metronome, or else you're not going to understand, and I'm not going to understand what you're playing. You're going to go that slow. This is 50, 58. So maybe like a second to beat, right? Just so that you're able to line everything up, alright? That's going to be your assignment for this week. Because the thing of it is, at the speed that you're taking, not only is the rhythm a little bit distorted, it's hard for you to get places. You know, like there were some parts where it looked like you were sight reading it just because it wasn't settled yet. Alright, so think about that. Think about it. Do it this week. Cool, next piece.
This one.
Have you looked at that at all?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, let's go down. Pretend that your shoulders, or your shoulders are sort of towards the back of your, just a little bit more instead of to the front. Because when you think of it, the front hunch over a little bit. That's a good position right there. E, bass. Do it before the beat. try to connect it. Go regular arpeggio. Be careful not to jump. Yep. Okay. Let's go to the end. I mean, let's go until the end. Well, not until the end, but until the end of that page.
So,
That's going to be an octave higher too.
okay.
Do it before. No, after the beat. Or before the beat. Yeah, that's it. That was on the beat. What you did was. What I want is. Yeah. That's it. Probably.
That is cut off.
E in the bass. Isn't it an E?
But then yeah, play me.
You play a C. No. In the right hand.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it. Okay, good. So from last week, the left hand got a lot better. You're not kind of doing that anymore. It sounds a lot better. What you need to do is kind of move the right hand a little bit more, a little bit deeper sound. Yeah, it kind of has to sing a little bit. Can we just do the right hand bend by itself? And long phrase. Go into the key. Exactly. So go and then taper off. Yeah, can you go? So the D is sort of your high point. No, to the D. To the D and away. Exactly. Can we put that there? No, before the. Okay, good. Let's do it again. A little slower. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so your articulation is going to be a little bit longer there, and this is going to be sort of an up motion because it's going to be short. Try that just left hand. A little bit more in the bass. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. The third thing is the first one is going to be louder than the second one, so it has to do something like that at the same time. So we have. Yeah, the second one still is a little too heavy. Still a little too heavy. Think of it as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's first one was really good. You'll hear it in the video. The first one was really good. The next two weren't as
why is it? Why is there not any way of expressing how this is supposed to be played? Like, why is that not written in?
because it was.
Or is that just how it's been done?
It's how it's been done. It's like when something is already known. It's funny because I just got into a conversation yesterday with somebody about this. This music, a lot of things. The reason why you have people teaching is because back then the waltz was a common form, you know, and so when Chopin wrote that, people knew, oh, this is the way it's being played. The waltz nowadays obviously is not a common form. You don't just hear a waltz by chance on the radio or anything. So that's why there are, you know, that's why we teach you what to do. And so that's why it's not written there, is because this is exactly what Chopin wrote, you know, 100 and some years ago, almost 200 years ago, almost 200 years ago. And so people at that time already knew, oh yeah, you know, it's a waltz, this is what we're supposed to do. And it's a good question because a lot of times when you play Bach, there's nothing written in there whatsoever. Yeah. But then, you know, you have me telling you this is what you have to do. Like with the prelude that you played last semester, phrase it this way, do it that way. Well, people in that time sort of knew that already because it was part of their language.
So it's just like, it's kind of the idea that, you know, Chopin played it like this.
Not really Chopin played it like this, but for example, the waltz was a common form. Because all of Chopin's music is a nationalistic music. Like he wrote waltzes, polonaises, mazurkas. All of those were common dance forms of the time. So when he says waltz, people know that it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. When it's a mazurka, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it changes, but based on what the dance form is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
is all Polish music?
Not all, but 3/4 is a common folk time signature. I mean, not only for Poland, but for a lot of other music. For example, if I brought out a mazurka, if you looked at it, it's in 3/4. It has the same kind of accompaniment. You know, you'll see a, but it would be interpreted differently because of its genre.
Okay.
All right. So, you know, part of the reason why I have you looking up information about this is so that you can find this out yourself too. So maybe this week try to look for a YouTube clip for waltzes, so you can kind of get that in your system and get the feeling in your system too.
Okay.
All right. Cool. We have 4 minutes, so let's try to make these first 2 lines. Explaining to you earlier is like down, middle, down. Can you do that? Just go. Down, middle, up, down. With your left hand. So weight. W-E-I-G-H-T. Down, middle, down, middle. And so when you go to the up, you see it's a little bit of a floating thing. So it's like step, step, float, step, step, float, step. And that's the kind of thing we need. Step, step, float, step, step. Okay? And it kind of goes together with this whole semicircle that I'm talking about. So step, float. Try it. Okay, cool.
Would a conductor conduct it like that, sort of?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
So, like, if it was a different song that was in 3/4, but it wasn't technically a waltz, would it be conducted in a different form?
In a different form.
Like, I mean, like, obviously, they're still going to conduct in the 3/4 way, but I mean, like, that whole idea of, like, kind of like wisping away on that last third beat would. Because I know, like,
no, it'll
I
probably
don't really know anything about conducting.
It'll probably be different.
Yeah.
for example, this one would be one, like I was doing it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, where the 3 is really light. The mazurka would probably be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's not any, well, I mean, there's not anything that comes to mind where the third beat would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There probably is, especially when you get into Bartok's music, you know, there's more.
Well, Bartok to you.
So the reason I had you do it so you can feel that this has the most weight, this has lesser weight, and that has the least amount of weight. And when you watch the video, you'll hear what I'm trying to get from you and what you're doing, and maybe you can make some adjustments after that.
Okay.
Cool? Alright, we're done. So next week, it'll be good if you can have, you're having too much fun with that camera.
Yeah.
If you can have the first 2 pages of this done,
Okay.
and then the Norton, have all of it done.
Alright.
It'll be good if you can play the Norton for class next week, though I'm not going to force you.
Maybe not memorize, but